Well, hello everyone, and I wanted to do a quick video of the 610th Army Special Operations Regiment, what if fictional Madagascar, in 1 in 72nd scale. Now these guys have been instrumental in the development of Special Forces tactics. They are very American influenced. They take a lot from the 100th and 60th, the Night Stalkers, and they are called the Night Harassers because Night Stalkers was taken. And this is their latest lineup, their current lineup going into 2025. They are debating whether the XC-142 should join the fleet, but at the minute, budgetary constraints say no. So let's have a quick look, and I'll try and keep this video short. The core capability of the 610th is provided by in-flight refuelable helicopters. They have their own ability to support their own operations a long way away from Madagascar, and they use forward operating bases which are run by the Tier 2 forces such as the MAGTAF, the Malagasy Air Ground Task Force, the Airborne and the Foreign Legion. These are Tier 1 operators. There's only one tier above them, Tier 0, and Tier 0 is the intelligence services, which have their own little sort of forces for whatever they're doing, and no one ever tells me, I just have to pay the bill. And then you've got Tier 3, which is the other end of Tier 2, and that's your standard army, so your tanks, your infantry, your armoured fighting vehicles. Tier 4 is reservists, the so-called weekend warriors and weeknight warriors, as they used to be called, somewhat disrespectively. Tier 5 is recalled to duty, so people that have completed their service and been recalled. The pathway to Tier 1, of which the Army Special Forces are Tier 1 operators, same with the Navy Sea Lions and the Air Force Combat Crabs, the pararescue people, is you have to serve in either Tier 3 or Tier 2 and then go through selection. So Tier 1 is quite specialised. It's the equivalent of Delta, the SAS, etc. But unlike the SAS, it has the ability to go on its own with air refuelling pretty much anywhere globally. So let's start. Well, the whole thing is supported by ISTAR capabilities, and we have that represented by an MQ-9 Reaper. The Reaper drone provides overwatch, and yes, the Houthis have shot down their 19th one. So these really do need a bit of an update. They have then a sort of dual counter-terror intelligence role, and they have the direct warfighting role. So you won't see the intelligence role at Tier 0, but they do support that with things like this BK-117. It's a civilianised looking aircraft. 4 of these are in use, and they can blend in, if you like, with various civilian airports. They do use the Little Bird for counter-terror work. There's 9 of those. I need to add the platform on it and put some troops on. And then I've got a little gunship one to do. So these are mainly used in the counter-terror role. Then we've got the bulk of the fleet, which is the newly finished MH-60L DAP, Direct Action Penetrator. This is an artillery kit bash. There it is. It's hard to get all the details because it's overall NATO black by Tamiya, but that gives organic fire support for the assaults, and this is 12 of those in service, and they support the 16 of the MH-60JM. So J for Japanese made, M for sort of Special Forces Madagascar, and these are the Hasegawa Rescue Hawks, which I've repurposed for my Special Forces transport. They're both armed. Here, 50 cals on the side of this one, 7.62 miniguns on that one, and they've all got little crew figures from the spare box, so they are good to go. I've got magnets under these, so I can put them on stands. Light vehicle-wise, very similar to the Tier 2, the MAGTAF and the Airborne. We've got Dago or Polaris A1s, Polaris MZ, RZ or whatever it is, D4s, and some quads, and the Bobcat there, which is sort of medical utility quad. I can't remember if this is an MZDR. I think it's an MZDR, the one there. So there's the low light vehicles. Then moving on to the bigger beasts at the back, there's 12 of these MH47Gs. Yes, they do have the IRCM, the directed infrared countermeasures. I had it on there. And these carry quite a lot of weaponry. We've got weapons tucked away in the doors to give it some sort of rear cover. And these are long range variants with the big fuel tanks. And these are the Revell Italeri MH47E converted to the G. The G has more powerful engines, shrouded exhaust, and then I've added loads of countermeasures on there. And these carry the bulk of the raiding forces. So you'll often see, and just like they are, you might have some intel work going down long term to locate the enemy, find their position, small units deployed, observation posts, etc., pushing out from the forward operating bases, maybe in Kenya, maybe in Uganda, looking for bad actors, insurgents, people that want to destabilise democracies, that kind of stuff. So once that intel work is done, they might go in for a strike or hostage rescue, captured civilians, stop children becoming soldiers, etc. It's very difficult to sit by with what's going on all around the world all the time. So the Madagascans have to do some sort of protection away from their borders, away from the coast into Africa and the Middle East. And they do then push forward. So you might have the gunship giving support for 2 of the Black Hawks and the Chinooks bringing in the main assault forces. They don't really get fixed into static positions, the tier 1 operators. They're very much sort of get in, get out very quickly, and they don't have the resources to stay for a long time. And that's why the MAGTF forces, the airborne and the naval infantry and the Foreign Legion are really important in setting up the operating bases, the forward bases for them in friendly countries. And they do also have an all sort of terrain aspect to them, except for the Antarctic and Arctic warfare, which is the domain of the Navy Sea Lions. So the Army tends to focus pretty much on, it could deploy to the Arctic, it could deploy to the Antarctic, but it mainly focuses on the African theatre and the Middle East theatre and South America, Indo-Pacific region, allowing the Sea Lions to specialise in the colder climates. But they do, the heaviest vehicles they use is the JLTV, here equipped with a turret for patrolling. They use a lot of raiding vehicles like this Butler's printed models, Wimic or Ranger JSOF. So these fold down, they can take them to places and raid using them. They have the JLTV ambulances if they need them. They have the ability to use speedboats. They have the ability to use sort of a larger attack boat there. And all of this can be underslung by a Chinook. So very useful to have. The lighter vehicles, of course, can fit straight in the back of the Chinook. Very easy to transport or be underslung by the Black Hawks. So I hope that gives you a flavour into the 610th Army Special Operations Regiment, the Night Harassers. Take care. Goodbye.